The ancient masters of alchemy possessed a secret that has been deliberately concealed from humanity for centuries, a secret so profound that it threatens the very foundations of limitation and scarcity that govern ordinary consciousness. While the world believes these mystical practitioners spent their lives futilely attempting to transmute base metals into gold, the truth is far more extraordinary and infinitely more powerful. The greatest alchemists understood that the real laboratory was not filled with crucibles and retorts, but existed within the infinite realm of human consciousness itself. Today, this forbidden knowledge emerges from the shadows through the mental alchemist's cipher, a revolutionary system that reveals how to transform the lead of ordinary thinking into the pure gold of manifested reality and unlimited potential. The cipher has been decoded, and what it reveals will fundamentally alter your understanding of consciousness, manifestation, and the true nature of reality itself. If you sense that your thoughts possess untapped creative power, if you feel called to transcend the limitations of ordinary existence, ensure you subscribe and activate the notification bell, for this journey into the deepest mysteries of mental alchemy will awaken capabilities within you that have remained dormant far too long. The modern world has been deliberately misdirected about the true nature of alchemy. Academia dismisses it as primitive pseudoscience, a misguided attempt to achieve the impossible through crude chemical processes. This interpretation serves those who benefit from keeping humanity ignorant of its true creative potential. The mental alchemist's cipher reveals that authentic alchemy was never about manipulating external matter, but about the systematic transformation of consciousness itself. The laboratory is your mind, the prima materia is your current state of awareness, and the philosopher's stone is the perfected consciousness capable of transmuting any circumstance into golden opportunity. Every genuine alchemical text, when properly decoded, speaks not of physical substances but of psychological and spiritual processes. The lead represents the dense, unrefined consciousness dominated by ego, fear, limitation, and reactive patterns. This base metal of ordinary awareness keeps humanity trapped in cycles of struggle, lack, and unconscious creation. The gold symbolizes the illuminated consciousness that recognizes its own divine creative power and wields it with precision and wisdom. This transformation is not metaphorical, but represents a literal restructuring of neural pathways, belief systems, and energetic patterns that govern your experience of reality. The mental alchemist's cipher demonstrates that external circumstances are nothing more than crystallized thoughts, the inevitable result of internal alchemical processes that most people perform unconsciously and chaotically. When you master the science of mental alchemy, you gain conscious control over this process, directing it toward deliberate outcomes rather than allowing random thoughts and emotions to create your reality by default. This is why the ancients guarded this knowledge so carefully, encoding it in symbolic language that only the initiated could understand. The pathway to mental mastery follows 7 distinct stages, each corresponding to classical alchemical operations. These are not mere intellectual concepts, but practical techniques that produce measurable results when applied with dedication and understanding. The mental alchemist's cipher provides the precise methodology for navigating each stage, ensuring complete transformation rather than partial or temporary change. The first stage, calcination, involves the deliberate destruction of everything false within your consciousness. Just as alchemists used intense fire to break down crude matter into its essential components, you must apply the fire of rigorous self-examination to burn away the ego structures, limiting beliefs, and unconscious programs that have controlled your life. This process requires courage, for it means confronting aspects of yourself that you may have spent years avoiding or denying. The technique known as the crucible of self-inquiry provides the methodical approach needed for this stage. You must ask yourself penetrating questions about your deepest fears, your most cherished beliefs about limitation, and the stories you tell yourself about why you cannot achieve what you truly desire. This questioning must be relentless and honest, applied like sustained heat until the false structures of identity begin to crumble, revealing the pure essence beneath. The second stage, dissolution, employs the element of water to cleanse away the ashes of what has been burned. Emotions that have been suppressed or ignored must be allowed to flow freely, dissolving energetic blockages that have accumulated over years or even lifetimes. The waters of emotional release technique involves creating sacred space for these emotions to emerge without judgment or resistance. This might manifest as deep grief for dreams abandoned, rage at injustices endured, or fear about stepping into your authentic power. Each emotion must be welcomed, felt fully, and allowed to wash through your system until it naturally subsides. This cleansing process is essential, for unresolved emotions create distortions in your energetic field that interfere with the precision required for conscious creation. Separation, the third stage, employs the discriminating power of air to distinguish between what serves your highest good and what must be discarded. After the fire of calcination and the water of dissolution have done their work, you gain clarity about your authentic desires versus the wants that have been programmed into you by external influences. The sieve of true intention technique involves deep contemplation of your core values, examining each goal and desire to determine whether it originates from your soul's authentic purpose or from ego-driven needs for approval, security, or status. This process requires developing the ability to feel the energetic signature of truth within your body, learning to recognize the resonance of authentic desire versus the hollowness of borrowed dreams. The fourth stage, conjunction, represents the sacred marriage of opposing forces within your consciousness. The mental alchemist's Cipher reveals that mastery requires integrating masculine and feminine aspects, conscious and unconscious elements, and analytical and intuitive capacities. The sacred marriage visualization technique involves specific meditative practices that unite these complementary energies, creating internal harmony that reflects as external balance and flow. During this stage, you learn to access both assertive action and receptive allowing, strategic planning and intuitive guidance, creating a unified consciousness capable of operating from wholeness rather than fragmentation. Fermentation, the fifth stage, introduces the element of spirit to breathe new life into your transformed consciousness. Just as wine requires fermentation to develop its unique character and potency, your new self-concept must be cultivated through repeated exposure to elevated states of consciousness. The elixir of affirmation technique involves crafting powerful statements of your new reality and repeating them during specific altered states when your subconscious mind is most receptive to change. These affirmations must be emotionally charged, vividly imagined, and felt as already true rather than merely hoped for. The fermentation process requires patience and consistency, allowing these new programs to take root and develop strength before they can manifest in your external experience. Distillation, the sixth stage, employs the ascending power of spirit to purify and elevate your consciousness to increasingly refined levels. The alembic of higher perspective technique involves regular practices that lift your awareness above the concerns of ordinary existence, allowing you to perceive your life from the vantage point of your highest self. This might involve meditation, contemplation of universal principles, or conscious connection with archetypal energies that embody the qualities you seek to develop. Through distillation, you develop the ability to maintain elevated states of consciousness even amid challenging circumstances, accessing wisdom and guidance that transcends logical analysis. The seventh and final stage, coagulation, represents the crystallization of your inner transformation into tangible outer reality. The seal of manifestation technique involves taking inspired action from your newly refined state of consciousness, allowing the internal gold you have created to solidify into material form. This is not merely positive thinking or wishful visualization, but strategic movement aligned with universal principles and divine timing. The mental alchemist's Cipher teaches that this stage requires both faith in the process and practical engagement with the physical world, understanding that consciousness and action must work together to create lasting change. The tools of the mental alchemist must be sharpened through dedicated practice until they become as natural as breathing. Focused intention serves as the alchemical fire, providing the concentrated energy needed to fuel transformation. This is not mere wishful thinking, but the laser-like concentration that can be maintained for extended periods without wavering. The mental alchemist's Cipher includes specific exercises for developing this capacity, training your mind to hold single-pointed focus even amid distractions and obstacles. Vivid imagination functions as the prima materia, the raw substance from which all creation emerges. Your imaginative faculty must be developed to the point where mental images become as real and compelling as physical perceptions. This requires moving beyond vague fantasies to detailed, multi-sensory experiences that engage your entire nervous system. The Cipher provides methods for enhancing imaginative capacity until you can create internal experiences so vivid that your subconscious mind accepts them as actual memories. Emotional resonance acts as the catalyst that accelerates the alchemical process. Emotions provide the energetic charge that transforms thoughts from mere mental activity into creative force. The mental alchemist's Cipher teaches how to cultivate specific emotional states at will, generating the precise vibrational frequency needed to attract desired outcomes. This involves understanding the emotional signature of your goals and learning to embody those feelings before external evidence appears. Disciplined will serve as the alchemist's steady hand, directing the process with unwavering commitment, regardless of temporary setbacks or apparent failures. This is not harsh force or rigid control, but the gentle persistence that continues the work even when results are not immediately visible. The Cipher provides frameworks for maintaining motivation and direction throughout the inevitable challenges that accompany genuine transformation. The mental alchemist's Cipher demonstrates that consciousness operates according to precise laws, just as physics governs the material world. When you understand these laws and apply them systematically, you gain the ability to create predictable changes in your experience. The uncertainty and chaos that characterize most people's lives result from unconscious application of these same laws, producing random and often unwanted results. Mental alchemy is the science of making the unconscious conscious, bringing deliberate direction to the creative processes that are always occurring within your mind. The ancient alchemists encoded this knowledge in elaborate symbolism because they understood that such power could be dangerous in the wrong hands. The mental alchemist's Cipher contains safeguards that ensure the knowledge serves spiritual evolution rather than ego aggrandizement. As you progress through the stages, you naturally develop wisdom and compassion that prevent misuse of these capabilities. The goal of transformed consciousness cannot be achieved through selfish motivation alone. It requires dedication to principles greater than personal gain. The transformation promised by mental alchemy is not temporary or superficial, but represents a fundamental shift in how you relate to reality itself. Once you master the Cipher, you no longer see yourself as victim of circumstances, but as conscious creator of experience. Challenges become opportunities for applying your alchemical skills, problems become raw material for creative solutions, and obstacles become stepping stones to greater mastery. This shift in perspective alone transforms your entire life experience, even before specific goals manifest. The mental alchemist's Cipher reveals that the ancient promise of transmuting lead into gold was never about creating material wealth, though abundance naturally follows when consciousness is properly refined. The true gold is the awakened awareness that recognizes its own infinite creative potential and expresses that potential with wisdom, compassion, and divine purpose. This is the philosopher's stone that the ancients sought, the perfected consciousness capable of transforming any situation into opportunity for growth, service, and joy. The time for hiding this knowledge has passed. Humanity stands at a threshold where either consciousness evolves or civilization faces increasing chaos and destruction. The mental alchemist's Cipher emerges now because enough souls are ready to reclaim their creative birthright and take responsibility for conscious participation in reality's unfolding. You who are drawn to this knowledge are among those destined to bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and modern application, demonstrating that the miraculous is natural when consciousness operates according to its true design. Your journey as a mental alchemist begins the moment you accept responsibility for your current circumstances and commit to transforming them through inner work rather than external manipulation. The lead of your present situation, no matter how challenging or limited it may appear, contains the seeds of unlimited golden possibility. The mental alchemist's Cipher provides the exact methodology for awakening those seeds and nurturing them into full manifestation. The work requires dedication, patience, and unwavering commitment to truth, but the rewards exceed anything that ordinary consciousness can imagine. You will not only transform your personal circumstances, but contribute to the collective awakening that is humanity's evolutionary destiny. Every individual who masters mental alchemy adds to the morphic field of conscious creation, making the process easier for those who follow. The ancient masters await your recognition of the divine alchemist that dwells within your consciousness. The laboratory is prepared, the tools are available, and the cipher has been revealed. The only question remaining is whether you will take up the great work and transform your mental lead into the gold of limitless possibility. Your awakened life, your manifested dreams, and your contribution to humanity's evolution all depend upon this choice. The mental alchemist's cipher illuminates the path, but you must walk it with courage, wisdom, and unwavering faith in your innate creative power. Share this revelation with others who seek to reclaim their creative birthright, for the age of unconscious creation is ending, and the era of deliberate manifestation has begun. Comment below about which aspect of mental alchemy resonates most deeply with your current journey, and let us build a community of conscious creators who support each other's alchemical transformation. The future belongs to those who master the art of turning thoughts into gold, and that mastery begins with your decision to embrace the mental alchemist's cipher today.